Hey, and welcome to Fit with Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode. Quick truth, if you are putting in 60% effort and expecting 100% results, you will feel disappointed every week. And if you are measuring progress with just one number, the scale, you are judging a movie by a single frame. Today, I will show you how to build an 80% plan that actually works and a progress dashboard that proves you are winning, even when the scale is moody. So today we are talking about something that frustrates almost everyone at some point, seeing too little progress or even a tiny weight gain despite trying hard. So if you have ever stepped on the scale, seeing it jump up 0.7 kilos overnight and thought, what's the point? This episode is for you. So here is the plan, what we are going to talk today. So why the scale alone is a moody and incomplete metric. What 80% consistency really looks like and why it beats perfection always. A simple progress dashboard you can use this week to prove you are winning, and how to set expectations so slow progress doesn't crush your motivation, and a quick troubleshooting checklist if you have genuinely stalled and not seeing progress or enough progress what you think you should be seeing. And in the end, I will provide you 1 week challenge to turn all of this conversation into action. So let's dive in. So first, I wanted to talk a little bit why the scale lies and what it actually tells you. First, we need to reframe what is actually a scale, because the scale is not a lie detector. It's a fluid metric that reflects water, glycogen, salt, inflammation from training, digestion, your menstrual phase, stress, traveling, and yes, of course, body fat too. But the fat is often the least visible day to day. So normal daily fluctuation can be from 0.5 to 2 kilos, or if you are using pounds, it's from 1 to 4 pounds, and that is for perfectly healthy reasons. So it doesn't mean like that you have magically gained fat if you went to eat some pizza night before and then next morning you step up on the scale, that you have immediately gained some fat. So why that scale first of all fluctuates? Maybe you already know some of these, but I will repeat them here. So if you trained your legs yesterday or some other bigger muscles, I personally feel it always if I have a leg day or I do a lot of back exercises, like basically training just my bigger muscles. So it means always for the scale and for your body that your body, you have caused muscle damage during the workout. So, and your body to become, like obviously your goal is to get stronger during the workouts. And if you are doing the job well, like you train hard, it doesn't need to be necessarily strength training, but your body needs to repair those damaged muscle tissues, what you have caused by working out hard day before. And to be able to repair that damaged muscle tissue, your body needs water. And it's causing that your body holds temporarily more water. So it's that gaining scale weight day after your hard workout, your body is having water retention, so it holds more water temporarily. So this is nothing dangerous, it's just the normal. It's just the way how the scale works, how your body is working, and it has nothing to do that you have gained fat. So other thing, what causes scale going up if you were eating something saltier. So it means salt is you can talk about how if it's healthy or not, but it also does the same thing. It's holding more water in your body. So if you have had some salty dinner or lunch day before, most likely you will be holding more water. And if you are women, you are in your luteal phase, progesterone can increase that fluid retention and appetite. So that is one of the very common reasons for women who are gaining always in a certain week of month weight, and then other weeks it's going down. So and then if you were sleeping poorly, it means also your cortisol will be higher, and also your body holds again more water. So if you were traveling or you were you were sitting more and you haven't been in a bathroom yet. So those are all just the simple ways or simple things what you maybe have heard at least some of them, maybe not all of them. So they are just the reasons why that scale is fluctuating. And if you are someone who measures your progress with a single morning waking, maybe once in a week or every second week or once in a month, you are judging a whole movie by one frame. So you don't see the big picture and what is actually behind, because that is very, very common especially for women like who I work that they don't like to, maybe you have a bad relationship with the scale, you don't like that feeling because your day is ruined, and it's just it's just that you see one frame from the movie and you are judging it. You are watching a movie, you see 15 seconds of a 2-hour movie, and you are saying, "Oh, this is piece of shit. I don't like it," or it doesn't. I don't enjoy what I see, or maybe it's a hilarious scene, and you said, "Whoa, this is amazing." But when the rest of the movie is a piece of shit, it's hard to tell something about with so small portion of seeing what is actually happening. And this is exactly the same thing with your weight. So what you could be doing instead. So we are looking at trends. So for me personally, I wake myself every single day. The first thing in the morning, I have a digital scale what automatically applies all my wakings to app, and there I see my weekly average weight. So this has been like I don't have currently any weight loss goals or weight gain. Like I'm basically I'm happy where I'm at, and like of course it helps me to recognize trends, like or like when if I say that I'm at the moment happy where I am, honestly I'm not, because I was traveling, getting a little bit loose with my own diet for a couple of weeks, and I'm a person who immediately, if it's 1 week or even a weekend, a short week, and I let myself go and be a little bit get out of my normal eating habits, I feel and see the difference right away. So probably like I don't know, for some people it doesn't make any difference. For me personally, I don't know, I don't have probably the best genes from my side, but that's just an excuse, and it's just how it is. I can't change those things, but it's what happens to me. And what I realized that when my average weight, like first I gained a weight like for possibly all these kind of reasons what I said before, except of course working out. I didn't work out, but everything like eating saltier, eating more, haven't been in toilet, and when I jump on the scale, I saw that whoa, now there is like surprising 1.5 to 2 kilos more weight. And I thought that usually this happens, that I just keep going what I do and weight is away. But this time it didn't happen. And now when I look then my average weight per week, and I start to see those trends patterns, because this is the hardest part to recognize, because you are not often you are not gaining 2 kilos of weight per week on average. So, but when it start to go like that, okay, this week it was half kilo weight gain, next week another half, 2 weeks later another half. So within a month you have a 1.5 kilos more. And then this was like, again, for me, a wake up call. I said, no, wow, now I gotta do something. I gotta be more strict to get back where I used to be. And this is what I see. It's one of the biggest mistakes, that you are not, you measure it every once in a while. It's maybe higher number or even lower, because it could be that in the meantime it's going down, or I know that if for these reasons I had a harder workout day, I slept poorly, eating maybe some carbs or a lot of salt day before I jump on the scale, I know that scale will be showing a lot higher number, but I still do it because I don't have any emotions. It's just some number what I measure. Like if I look how many steps I do, it's just a number. I don't get pissed off that what happened today, that I did only 6,000 steps or 5,000 steps, and or I'm not jumping to the roof if I make someday 15 or 20,000 steps. It's just a number, and it's the same thing with the scale. So if you are learning to look at these trends, so it could be like that. In your case, you don't need to measure yourself every single day if you don't want. If you have especially if you have a bad relationship with the scale. But I highly recommend to try it and see how it goes. And but the only number is like that. Either you measure it every single day, or you take 3 to 5 wake-ins per week with the same conditions. Like usually the best time is in the morning. After you get up, you have been in toilet, and then you look at the only number what you are looking is weekly average. So those daily values, they fluctuate, they can be whatever they want. And if you are women, compare yourself. Don't look only about weekly average, but compare that number, what you see on weekly average, on the same week of the last month. So when your menstrual cycle is at the same phase, so there you can see those trends. So for men, it's we don't have that thing, but for our women, look your same phase, which phase you are every month. So that's how you can compare yourself. So don't look your Tuesday versus last week Tuesday, or Monday versus Monday. Look at weekly average, and because more data points you have, more accurate and better information you will have. And that's the best way how to actually use the scale as a one way to measure your progress. It's not the only way, and it shouldn't be the only way, because that's the best way to feel frustrated if you are measuring yourself every month or every 2 weeks once in a while, and it's the best way to feel frustrated. So you don't, if you have a problem seeing that higher number, or you can't, if you are someone whose day is ruined, and you want to be kind for yourself, so do yourself a favor and don't wake in the morning after traveling, after alcohol, or the toughest leg day of your life. So just be reading, you will be just reading how much water you have in your body and not the truth. And also, okay, alcohol, it affects, at least for me, it's a funny thing, like usually, because alcohol is something that it actually removes water from your body. So for me, if I drink alcohol day before, right, next day I might see lower number on the scale, but it spikes up then like 2 days after. So, but these are very individual, and that's what I have seen trends, what happens to me. So those are my personal experiences. It's not that they are the valid or truth for everyone. So then the next part, I want to talk a little bit about the 80% rule and what it actually look like. So, because here is the harsh truth, that because I have to be honest with you, and you have to be honest with yourself, because and this truth will save you. So if you are giving 60% effort, you will get about 60% result. That's not a failure. That's just a math. So the only problem with this 60% effort is that if you are expecting 100% outcomes from 60% inputs. So what is the real goal? It's 80% consistency. So 80% doesn't mean trying pretty hard. It means actually hitting your lead habits 80% of the time. And think it like this. So it's 5 to 6 solid days out of 7, 8 wins out of 10 on your personal checklist. And the basics done most days, not a perfect day once in a while. So here are 2 examples. So if your goal is to get 7 to 9,000 steps, 80% might be 5 days at 7,000, 2 days at 4,000. That's still a weekly win. And if your protein target is 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight, 80% might be hitting it 7 days out of 7, 5 days out of 7, and getting close on the other 2. And that's how real people make progress without living like a monks. So it's not about perfection, but if you are really understanding like that, because for the most people I have worked with in the past years, it's the progress is, it really like, it feels like that, they are pushing so hard, being perfect on, usually it's on from Monday to Thursday, maybe Friday around lunchtime. And then you let go for a weekend, you go way over, you forget all your good things, you think that you deserve something good. And that is 4.5 days out of 7. So we are there, 60% of consistency. It's not that 80% what we are actually aiming for. And how you can actually then change this, because it's for me personally, it's not that if your goal is not to be like a competitor, fitness competitor at the States, you don't need to be 100% consistent seeing real results, because for most of us, at least for me, I like to enjoy also things, enjoy foods, enjoy freedom, but it's those core habits what have to be there. And if you don't have those core habits, it's going to be very, very hard, or you can't expect seeing results. And of course, if your goal is, if you are some fitness competitor who needs to be on the stage, the best shape of your life, and you have a deadline for that, you better be there like close to 100%. You might have a one cheat day, like those fitness influencers. You might see that they are having a cheat meal they have maybe once in a month, but for normal people, it's totally different. And this 80% rule, it's the game changer. It's not only in fitness, but everything in life. It applies to everything. It applies to your work, your business, your okay, family. It's kind of a different story, but even there, if you aim for 80%, because perfection is a bad goal, because how it leads, if you can't be perfect, you have a strict rules, you can't follow them perfectly. How you are going to respond? For most of us, the response is that I'm not going to do anything, or I let it be because I don't have willpower, I don't have discipline. I'm just letting it go, and then I start again when situation is better. If you are any human, you have had these self-talks, and you have found all possible excuses for yourself. But how you can actually then get out of this kind of mindset and how you can build your progress dashboard so that scale isn't the boss. So starting today, I want you to build progress dashboard. So the goal is to measure leading indicators, the things you can control, and a few outcome indicators to keep you honest. So I want to pick that you are picking 4 to 6 of these. And if it feels overwhelming, because 4 to 6, it might be a lot. Maybe if you are already doing kind of well, some of these, it can be 4 to 6. But even if you start 1 to 3 of these and track them, like really track them for the next 2 weeks. So outcomes that you should be tracking weekly is number 1 is your weight average. So it's that's kind of optional, but it's how you can do it. It's 3 to 5 weightings, and you take only average. Or if you want to go for the next level, you make yourself every single day take average weight per week. So these are outcomes. What is even better is to take measurements, tape measurements. You can take waist at navel, your hips, your thighs, and making sure that you take them always at the same point, and you do it every 2 weeks. So that is not, you don't need to do it every single week, but do it into every 2 weeks. And same thing, pictures, take a photos with the same lighting, same pose every 2 weeks. So those are those outcomes. They are keeping you honest, and you are seeing if there's actually progress. Because if you use only scale and you measure yourself every 2 weeks once, and you see, oh, there is no progress, or there is progress, but when there's not really progress, you think that there is progress, or opposite. But when you have more ways to measure your progress, pictures, tape measurements, you have more data to have actually honest outcome if the thing what you are doing is it's actually working or if it's not. So then these are the core habits. Now we are talking, this is the most important thing, what you have to track daily and aim for 80% consistency. And that is how I do it. Like if you take a calendar month, like let's say month has a 30 days, your goal is to get, if you want to be 80% consistent, that's 24 days. So if you are there 22, 23, 24 days, you are close there. So it means that every month or every week, it's that 5 to 6 days. It's when you should be consistent. You have still some freedom, but it doesn't mean that you have freedom 3 days every single week. So, but when you are honest with yourself, and I'm sharing you exact way how to do it, this is how you actually start to get that, what it actually means in a real life to become 80% consistency. So, number 1 is your strength performance. So, if you are doing your strength workout, what you are aiming for, if it's a 2 times, 3 times a week, that doesn't matter. It's up to your personal goal where you are, what you think that it's realistically possible for you at this point. So, and then what you want to track in your strength workouts is your strength performance. So weights and reps on 2 to 3 key lifts, or for example, push-up count. So are you making progress? I personally, more you are tracking this kind of data, more you pay attention, more you are seeing, because most of the, especially women I work, they've never measured. They maybe use same dumbbells for the whole workout and thinking like, then over time, like, you start with your 2 kilo dumbbells, then you move to 3 kilo dumbbells, you move 4 kilo dumbbells. The problem with this approach is that for some muscles, like for example, smaller muscles like shoulders, it's going to be you are going to give very, very challenging workout. But then for your bigger muscles, like your back muscles, your glutes, if you are doing deadlifts and your shoulder lateral raises for your shoulders with the same amount of weight, your shoulders, they are getting a very good workout, but your glutes or your back muscles, if you are doing some rowing exercise, they have nothing. It's way too little. So wake, measure and track your strength performance, use different weights. And that good rule of thumb is that you should be not able to, you have to make some kind of ugly face in your last rep. And that you shouldn't be able to imagine if you would get punched in your private areas, if you are able to do more than 2 repetitions with the same weight when you finish your last, it means that you are using too light weights. You should be using more or doing more repetitions, but the last reps should be very, very challenging. But the key is here is to just track your strength performance. So then number 2, and these are only options. Like I said, pick few of these, 1 to 3, if you want to, if you are already kind of doing something, and then it can be more. Next step is your steps. So either it's going to be daily average or weekly total. So for me, for my clients, we usually set daily goals. So this is a daily goal it could be 7,000 steps a day. And so it would mean 7 times 7, it's 49. So it's 49,000 per week. So this is, you see here also trends. If one day doesn't mean if you get 3,000 steps, you can catch it up for the next day. So you are aiming, you have your weekly total and you get your daily average. Number 3 is your protein, grams per day, or if you feel like it's a little bit overwhelming to start tracking all my protein sources per day, option could be that did I get, for example, 25, 30 grams at breakfast. So if you know that what is your biggest struggle to get your protein in one meal, is it if it's a breakfast, if it's a lunch, if it's a dinner, pick one meal, what you are struggling the most to get protein in, pick that meal and aim for 35 or 30 grams, 25 grams protein at that meal. So that could be option for protein. Then fiber. So are you hitting your fiber goal? So what is a fiber goal? It's pretty common for women, like let's say 27 grams, but it's kind of hard to know if you are getting, but it's a very, very simple thing to do is like that. For example, are you eating what I love to use, 2 pieces of fruit every single day? So you have your vitamins, you have your fiber. So, and it basically don't make it too complicated. If you get your goal is to eat 2 pieces of fruit every day, that's amazing things. And by the way, you might think that these are like for most people, we focus on restrictions, cutting sugars, carbs, or something to eat less to lose weight. But if you trust me, if you start to think it otherwise and you aim for bare minimum, like protein, fiber, it leads to exactly same results. But it's just so much easier when you are aiming to add something, making sure that you are eating enough of these things, and you automatically your cravings will go down. You will eat something else less. So outcome is the same. It's just mentally, at least for me, it's so much easier to focus on adding things which lead to the same thing than just trying to focus on your willpower, how much you can restrict or how long you can restrict, because usually it's only a matter of time before you say that, fuck it. So the next thing is your sleep. So 7 to 9 hours. So count nights that you sleep at least 7 hours or more. So if you had a night that you slept less than 7 hours, that's not being 80. That's not in that list. So if you get at least 7 hours, that's good. That's one of the action-based goals you can impact Of course, if you have problems for falling asleep or other sleep issues, but at least that you have been in bed in a calming environment for 7.5 hours, and if your watch is telling that you slept 6.5 hours, but you were in a bed 8 hours, I would still probably give myself credit that I was doing at least everything I could in my power. So then if your goal, if you are overwhelmed, if you feel like that you are very stressed at the moment, very good work, a very good thing is to do some breathing work or relaxation. So for example, breathing exercises, like doing them 3 to 5 minutes every day. And those could be, for example, focusing on 4-6 breathing and do that for 3 minutes. So it means that taking 4 seconds breathe in through your nose and 6 seconds out through your mouth, and doing this for 3 minutes. And this is going to help you more than you believe to calm you down, reduce your stress, cortisol, which is stress hormones. So this is one actionable thing. Alcohol is the next point, and this is where you set your individual goal. So how many portions or units you are allowing yourself per week. So what is the right? I had an episode about alcohol. So how much studies have changed? It was published a couple of weeks ago. So if you want to listen it, make sure go back. It's 2-3 weeks before this episode. So studies have changed a lot with the alcohol recently, and now there is no safe amount of alcohol, because studies were, when I started 10 years ago, there was a lot of studies came out that a glass of red wine, it's good for your heart health and blah, blah, blah. And now what latest studies are telling, there is huge risk. You are risking all kind of cancers. There's a lot of health risks with the alcohol, and even small amounts. There is no amount of alcohol which is safe or which is good or something. So it's something, but of course this is depending on your individual situation. If you are someone who is drinking on average 20 plus units per week, it's the goal is probably not in the beginning like go for 0, or even if you go, it's most likely not going to be sustainable. But for example, with some of my clients, we did they had a habit that it was they were happy to get reduced their alcohol intake for 15 portions per week. So that's 2 per day. It might sound for someone, whoa, that is but it always depends where you are starting from, what you are aiming for. And then of course, if you are drinking at the moment, let's say you are drinking 2 glasses of wine on average per day, so you are 14-15 portions, maybe sustainable way would be to trying to reduce it for 10-7, something like that. So it's still that it's not about cutting everything out, but trying to reduce it, because you know that you will feel benefits. Then for women, it's a menstrual phase note. So mark literal menstrual days for the context, so that you know that, okay, when these things are happening, what is actually going on with my weight. And this is just a simple way to see what is actually going on. And so you don't need to wonder why exactly in these days is your weight is spiking up, or you have a higher appetite or whatever. So this is just one way to do it. And then your energy or mood. So quick 1 to 10 rating for your energy or mood. And those are just the ways how you could be tracking them for the next 2 weeks. So if the scale is jumping up, but your waist is smaller, your lifts are up, your sleep and protein are steady, you are not stuck. You are early. And the body because the body is changing in a steps, not in a straight lines. You would like to, of course, we all would like to see immediate results. When you start to do things you are doing them for 2 weeks and you are expecting that there is a results, but you are actually making progress. And this is all what matters. And it's just that it's only matter of time before you start to see. When you track these things, you are hitting that 80% consistency of these things. You are getting there. So then I want to talk about expectations and how you to set realistic pace, realistic expectations. So for fat loss, like for most people, I don't know where these honest numbers or these expectations are coming. Maybe you have a friend who have lost a huge amount of weight in the last couple months, or you see in social media, unfortunately, influencers are posting like I see somebody's posting just a number on the scale, how much weight they have lost in which time frame, and you are like that, holy shit, I want to have the same. And but what is the problem with this? Like, is if you see just how much weight they have lost, even if that is your only goal at this point to change your body, but they are not telling how you lost the weight and what you lost. Because you could be losing, let's say that I would get someone to lose weight 10 kilos within 2 months, which is doable, depending, of course, on your starting weight. But how you get it, if you lose from 10 kilos, if there is, you lose 4 kilos of muscles, 4 kilos of water weight and 2 kilos of fat. Despite losing that 10 kilos, your situation is a lot worse because you have lost more muscle mass, you have lost a lot of fluids, and okay, there was a little piece of fat, but that muscle loss, what you lost with those extreme diets, it's causing you that you are not able to maintain your lost weight. It's going to get harder. Your metabolism is going to be slower. You don't have energy. Your mood is most likely not the best one. You see the lower number on the scale, yes, but you are not in a place that you think that, wow, this is now what I wanted. Your situation is worse than it was when you were 10 kilo heavier in a long term. So in a short term, you might feel good. You might feel happy, proud of yourself. But often these cases, when you look, you wait, let the time go, you have a good indentation, or you think that this is the right way now. I just have to keep going. I need that quick diet in the beginning to get just a boost for my diet, and then I will just keep those habits. Of course, I need to eat healthier and do exercise, but that's not the case. You are not learning anything else than discipline, willpower with these diets. And what is then realistically, what is a very good progress? So for fat loss, only a solid, sustainable rate is about 0.25 to 0.5% of your body weight per week on average. So it means that in a month, if it's a 1 to 2% of your body weight. So in a simple ways, if your weight is 100 kilos and you are losing 1 to 2 kilos of your body weight in a month, that is a solid, sustainable rate. Of course, it can be, especially in the beginning, it can be faster, but in a long term, having that kind of rate, that is a solid progress. So if your weight is 70 kilos, that's 0.18, 0.35, if my calculation is correct, per week. And over a month, it's 0.7 to 1.4 kilos. And that is excellent progress. Not a dramatic, but that is a real. And that is what actually is a very good progress. And was I know what you might be thinking. If you weigh now 70 kilos, you want to get up to 60, down to 60. And you think that if I lose 0.7 kilos, like I don't even see the difference. I don't see like what is the point. But you are looking here on average weight, not on daily measurements, and that is a good progress. You will get there. Like if you have an option, you lose that 10 kilos from 60 to 70 or from 70 to 60, and you can get there. Let's say that you would get there in 3 months if you try to beat the world record of losing weight the fastest. But then if you go 0.7, maybe 1 kilo per month for the next 10, 12 months, you get there. You have your 60 kilos after 1 year. And the person who gets there faster, most likely, if you look back, you compare yourself in 1 year, 12 months from today, if you start both today, it's, I bet the person like who got their slower pace is in a better place and lost usually more weight after 1 year than the person who gets there. The problem is only our mindset. And because usually there is very few people who is willing to actually get the work done and trust the process, trust the progress, and keep going even the scale is not moving. So sometimes that progress it hides for 2 to 3 weeks, and then you are getting like that. Whoa, what is going on? That's normal. Meanwhile, if you are tracking your pictures, your measurements, or strengths, if they are already improving, you you or they if they are improving but the scale is not moving, you are improving. And so that's why it's so important to measure all kind of progress and see that if there is nothing happening, okay, 2 to 3 weeks, that is still not a time frame that you should say that now I have to change something. But if, let's say that despite being 80% consistent with your measurements or with all metrics you are tracking, you are not seeing this kind of progress, or you don't see any progress in your tape measurements, pictures, your strength, your average weight per week, then the thing what you are doing might not be working. But before changing anything, make sure you are 80% consistent with the things you are doing. Make sure you have more ways to measure your progress than just the scale. And because if your goal is recomposition, which means losing fat while building muscle, the scale can stay flat while your waist drops and your jeans fit better. And that is also a win. That is a progress. So don't let one number steal that from you. So how often what I want to talk is to how to troubleshoot your slow progress. And here is a quick checklist. So if you have been like a few weeks and you are genuinely stuck, so run this 7-point audit. So number one is intake drift. So track 3 to 5 honest days, including the weekend. So track everything you are eating. So little extras like oils, sauces, those licks and bites, what you are finishing from your kids' lunches. Track everything and just look where you are at with your calorie intake. How is your portion sizes? Number two is your protein. So aim for that 1.6 to 2.2, and you can see that number also if you are able to track and start hitting 25 to 30 grams at your protein at breakfast every day. So then number three is your training dose. Are you doing 2 to 3 full body strength sessions per week using progressive overload and finishing set with 1 to 3 reps in reserve? So it's challenging. You are not crushing it. You don't go until failure, but you are going close to there. If your answer is no, okay, we have something to fix. So how is your need? And this is non-exercise activity. So keep your step stable on non-training days. So don't let them fall by 3,000. So check how many steps you have been doing and if there is any changes. So sleep, are you able to, how is your average sleep? How many hours? Maybe trying to add 15 to 30 minutes. So if you try to protect those kind of 2 like anchor nights per week, where you get at least 7.5 hours. Alcohol. So set the sailing, for example, 3 to 4 per week, because alcohol, it disturbs your sleep and appetite control. So as you know, if you have ever drank alcohol in your life, you might think, I used to think that I was sleeping better. Yes, it's true, you fell asleep easier, but your quality sucks every single time. Even one portion of alcohol, it ruins my sleep quality. I might feel okay, but quality, trust me, it's never the same. And your appetite control, especially when you drink alcohol, your appetite increases. You might see it, at least here in Italy, we like to eat always something like chips or whatever when you are drinking alcohol. And then for women, cycle context. So except water pumps pre-period. So compare weight averages, follicular phase to follicular phase, not week to week. So do these checks before you change the whole plan. So because these are some things what you can quickly check. Are you okay with this? And if there is something that, this was the part what I was actually, before you change everything, make sure you are doing these things. So this is now the part what I promised, that this is what an 80% week actually looks like. And this is just an example. Your situation might be different, but here is a 80% week plan for a busy women. So strength training, it's, for example, 2 times per week, could be Monday, Thursday, full body, 45-minute strength workout. Steps, 8,000 on average. Some, you might have some 6,000, 6K days. Some days are 9K, but on average, 8,000. Protein. So that, like I said, either you track your daily total, what could be 100 grams, 120, whatever number you get. And, or you could be checking that you get 25 to 30 grams at breakfast. So fiber, 4 to 6 servings, produce most days. So it means, think whole grain products, pieces of fruits, those all count. So sleep. So you have 2 kind of what I call anchor nights. So they are at 7.5 to 8 hours. Other nights, 6.5 to 7. Ideally, if your average sleep, it should be there like at least at 7 hours. So alcohol, maximum 3 to 4 portions per week. And breathing. So 3 minutes after workouts or before bed. So 5 days out of 7. So it helps you to calm down after a workout, after a hard day of work, doing it before bed, or for example after workouts. That is something what I was never actually believing. I started to implement with the women's national team. Because it's a different topic. You are not most likely you are not an Olympian who is training for Olympics, but for us in a game situations where you have very little time to recover. For example, you play a game today and next game is in 20 hours, so you have to maximize recovery. And the thing is with the breathing, like your body, okay, you are done with the workout. But you are done. You know that now it's done. You go to shower, you go to eat, but your body, your nervous system is still in a state. It doesn't know that it's done. Okay, you need to fuel your body relatively quickly after workout, so you start to recover from workout, but also to sending signals to your nervous system, to your body, that we are done. We are done with the workout. We can start actually recovering. And when you do that breathing exercises 3 minutes after workouts, it tells to your nervous system that we are done here. Workout is done. I'm ready to start recovering. And that is after workouts. That's why, what is the reason behind why those breathing exercises are working after workout, or other option, like I said, before bed, calms you down, helps you most likely to fall asleep, sleep with a better quality. So try to aim for 5 days out of 7. So is that perfect? No. Does it work? Yes, because you repeat it. It's not only for 1 week, but this is just an example of 80-20 rule, what it looks in a real life. So this is, I want to share 2 quick scripts to save your week. So if you have a higher calorie day, what you could tell to yourself today, the sentence what I want you to repeat, you can write this down if you are somewhere, or write it if you are driving a car. Don't write when you are driving, but write it down once you stop and you are in a quiet place. And what you are going to say to yourself after a higher calorie day is that today I go back to my routine. Protein at breakfast, lots of water, a walk. I don't punish, I continue. When the scale is jumping up, what you are going to tell yourself is that this is water, not failure. What did I do yesterday? Legs, more salt, less sleep, cool. I'll average the week. When motivation is low, what you are going to tell is that I don't need motivation. I need the next 10 minutes. 10 minutes of movement now, and I will see how I feel after. And this is when motivation is low. You try never to promise yourself that I must do the whole workout. Tell yourself, don't let yourself talk out of it. Say that I promised for myself to start my workout. I will get started. And if after I started, I did one exercise, one set of my first exercise, if I feel that I don't have time, I don't have power, whatever, I'm give myself permission to quit. But I have to keep promise I make to myself. So if it's 2 strength workouts, goal is not to finish 2 strength workouts. It's only to get started 2 times, and ideally in those days what you have put into your calendar. So this is then let's move to your weekly progress scorecard. So you can use this in your notes. I will read this out and you can copy it from the show notes. So pick your 8 lead habits. Score each day 1 or 0, or you can put a done sign or X, and aim for 80% for the week. So protein at each meal, steps, strength training, sleep, fiber, alcohol, 3 to 5 minute breath work, water, and track outcomes weekly. Weight average, waist, hip, 1 to 2, gym, personal records, energy, 1 to 10. Score it on Sunday. If you are 80% or above, you are on track, even if the scale is grumpy this week. So here is your challenge for the next 7 days. Choose one habit, one lead habit to nail it at 80%. It could be protein at breakfast, or 8,000 steps, or 7 hours of sleep. Track your weekly weight average and your waist once. DM me your scoreboard on Instagram and I will cheer you on and help you tweak it if you are stuck. Remember, you are not stuck. You are early. Your body needs consistent inputs, not perfect ones. And so let's do a little quick recap what we talked today. So the scale is one data point, not the whole story. Use weekly averages and context. 80% consistency beats 100% for 2 days and quitting on day 3. Build your progress dashboard so you can see wins you control. Accept small, steady changes. 0.25 to 0.5% per week is excellent. Troubleshoot with protein, steps, sleep, strength, and honest intake. If today helped, please share this episode with a friend who is feeling stuck and leave a quick review. It really helps more women find the show. And if you want coaching support to build 80% plan that works with your life, you can explore options at personaltrainerturo.com. You are doing better than you think. Keep going because I'm proud of you. Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast.